Hello and welcome to the first video tutorial on how to use Source Filmmaker. Now we'll be starting off with poster making before animation, yes. And besides that, we'll be creating a file straight away. Now, if you want to install Source Filmmaker, just look it up on Steam and download it from there. You'll find it in the tools section in your library. It's very easy. And afterwards, you just boot it up. Use just source framework, no hammer editor, nothing like that. Alright, don't complicate your life. Now, after choosing your file name, location, frame rate, but that's only for animation. It doesn't matter for posters. We'll be going to load the map, of course. Now, the thing is that loading maps takes quite a while. Depends on your processor. Now, we'll be using a variation on 2.4, very classic map for TF2. Most of you have heard, or must have heard about SFM through the TF2 animations, if I'm not wrong. And that's all. Now, what you'll see are a lot of windows, alright? The piece down in here is timeline, and there are three buttons that help you switch between modes. Between the this is the timeline for the movie itself. After that, the graph editor and the motion editor. The graph editor is for animating. The motion editor is for posing primarily. Now you can use it with the graph editor for animation, but doesn't matter right now. Now, as you can see, I have two viewports into the map, a primary one, a secondary one. Now, the program itself doesn't come with those, so usually you need to customize it to your own feelings, to say. It's not as easy as, let's say, Premiere Pro or something like that. And as you can see, we load into the map very late to say. And first off, to move the camera, you need to move your cursor, your mouse cursor, over one of the viewports. You should move it into the bigger viewport if you have my setup. And afterwards, what you can do while holding right click, left click, that's right. You can move with WSD keys around, and by keeping shift pressed, you can go faster around, right? It's very basic. You can go through walls. There are no physics involved, loaded, nothing. That's what you work with. Now, we need to find a good spot to start animating, alright, to create our poster. Now, most posters you see with tier 2 characters will be using soldier. Now, in the top right corner, you see a small plus. If you click on that, it will display a list with the options you have on your hands. Very easy. And we'll be adding a new object into our domain. Now, I forgot to mention that you can add cameras by going to your camera. Now we're on the work camera, that you can use it when working on anything. And we'll load the new camera 1. This is stationary. You can see it when working with your normal camera, and that's for placing your shot and not worrying about moving or changing the position of it too much. Now we'll be spawning the soldier player model. Now, to find it, you'll need to type in player / whatever character you seek. Also very useful is you can change from up. If you see the TF bar or resource bar up here, you can select select the resources you want to use. For example, if you download the resources from, let's say, the Steam Workshop, then you can use them and not worry about finding other files that don't need next to you that much. Now, after you spawn the player model, you'll need to manipulate it. For that, you really need to be, um, you need to be in the motion editor or the graph editor to manipulate it. Now, I usually use the motion editor because it's the primary thing to use for posters. And as you can see, there are more options to moving a character. Now, Q, E, R, T are used for changing the modes, if I remember correctly. If not, you'll find on in the down left corner of the screen, you'll find four buttons with options on how to move any object. Right. I usually use the XYZ axis mode, and afterwards, when I want to rotate or do some final work, I use the rotation option, which is quite useful. Now, when posing, you really need to take your time. Just enjoy yourself, learn how to make it look so that it's fluid, it attaches to the surfaces naturally, it doesn't just float in the air like any other T-posing default player model, but that doesn't matter right now. Now, after we're done posing this guy, we'll be dressing him up. Yeah, you don't want just a plain old soldier looking at you very cool like. And we'll be dressing him up. Dress him up is very easy. You go in the right panel, and from there, right click on him, soldier player model, and you'll see an option to add a TF2 item. Now, for that, you'll need to use Google because sometimes the items don't have the same name if you search them up, even though it's kind of weird. So, if you want to use a certain cosmetic or weapon, search it up on Google and afterwards search it up and use it in SFM. Alright, very easy. A thing to mention is that I'll be doing a tutorial on how to import resources from TF2. Now, SFM doesn't come with the cosmetics, alright? These are by importing all the files from TF2 to SFM, but it isn't just copying files from the normal TF2 game and afterwards just plugging it in to SFM. You need to use a program to convert them. Now, there are some videos that describe it very much better than me, to be exact. And I would I will leave it in the link below. Some good videos for getting started into importing files from TF2 to SFM and helping you out with your resources if you seek so. If not, just go to Steam Workshop and pray that someone has done it before you. Alright? Now, this is quite the beauty right here. Uh, After we're done with this all, I'll be coming back and we'll be finishing this up. Now, after you're done with your poster making, posing, and stuff like that, you can also use lights. Usually, you can drag and drop spawn on in from the plus option, and afterwards, you can manipulate them by drag and dropping them into one of the viewports, and afterwards, moving it like a camera. Very easy. And the options you'll find them on the left extreme side, say, and you just put in some values and help you out. Now, if you follow the video, it's much easier to understand. Now, about the visual options, don't worry about it. You'll learn it by heart in a way, so no worries. After you're done with the posing, lighting, whatever, you'll need to save the file and finish your poster. You'll need to go to File and Poster. Usually you use Control M, but that's for movie rendering or image sequence. So I wouldn't recommend it. Just go File, Poster. That's great. Afterwards, choose your preferred, how to say it, format for the picture itself, and also, SFM will give you an editable file if you want to change your mind later on. Alright, very easy. As you can see, uh, the bigger, not the bigger, the more complicated the picture, you'll need to wait longer. Now, there are options to improving the render to 4K. You need to use the properties tab from Steam for Source Maker, and you can find instruction on how to do that on the official Steam Workshop page on Steam. Not Steam's Workshop, the Source Maker page, right? That's the one. Now, after we're done, we come to the desktop, and as you can see, there are two files besides our poster, of course. First one, these two files are very important actually. If you delete one of them, you'll lose the entire project, so you won't be able to edit the poster ever again. Alright, that's locked in place. And I really, really mean it when you have to be careful with your files, alright? Don't go crying afterwards. And this is the final product. I hope you enjoyed this video and may it help you